Hello everyone, and welcome to Stitch Trek, a show where we talk about Star Trek costumes, which ones to buy, how to make them, and today I'd like to try to make my very own pair from scratch of Vulcan prosthetic ears. Now you may say, where have you been? We talked about this a long time ago. What's taken you so long? And frankly, it has been a very bizarre and busy summer. There were good things. We went camping almost every weekend. I got to see brand new places, and I love camping. One fun thing that turned into a not so fun thing was the fact that I bought chickens. Now I have grown up chicken adjacent, but this was the first time I had chickens of my own. I spent a long time building a very secure coop because we have bears and raccoons and all sorts of things around here. But once that was done, I thought I could just come right back to Stitch Trek. However, it turns out that the birds I ordered arrived with a disease. Now I had paid to have them vaccinated against this disease. It's called Merrick's. If you've ever heard of it, you probably know how terrible it can be. And they were obviously not, because all of them, all 7, have it. 6 are gone. So out of 7 birds, I have 1. And frankly, it was horrible. This hatchery is terrible, and don't buy from Brazil. Don't buy. I think they're in Missouri. Don't do it. Now, birds that are vaccinated against Merrick's can still catch it, but they won't suffer from it. These ones obviously just were not vaccinated at all, because there's no way in hell the ratio would be that high in losses. The one left, she must have it. There's no way she doesn't, but she's just not expressing it. So for now, she's fine. We'll see. It could go south at any moment, but she did lay her first egg. So that was heartbreaking. I spent a lot of time doting on very sick birds. So when I felt like I had a moment, I would work on this episode. Because of course, making Star Trek things makes me happy. And I would use this project as something to cheer myself up. But I really only got to work on it a few hours every few weeks. So this has been a very long process. Even though the project itself, if you had no interruptions, wouldn't actually take you that long. But now that things have settled down, and frankly, I need some cheering up, I was able to finally finish it, and I hope you enjoy watching how it should have unfolded, heavily edited of course. You're going to see a lot of outfit changes, and that's just because this was made over a long time. So let's begin without further ado this journey into how to make, for the very first time, my own prosthetic Vulcan ears. Or Romulan, I suppose. Really, whatever you want. Now, here is my Poshmark account name. If you've seen episodes before, you know I'm selling off some gently used, sometimes not used at all, Star Trek costumes, because I have way too little room down here in my basement abode. And costumes that my cousin has no longer wears. And if you are interested, these are going to be a fraction of the price that you can buy them through normal sellers. This is a Star Trek reboot movie, Command Gold uniform. I love these. I love these so much. I love this one because of the metallic piping. Look how freaking nice. I love the little tiny deltas. Aren't those cute? The piping goes around the neck. This is an extra large. It is a women's uniform. If you are someone who wears a woman's uniform and you're interested in this, this will go up as soon as this video is uploaded. The second one I'm going to sell is this. This is a, let's zip it so it looks nicer, so you can tell what it's shaped like. This is a Discovery Pike's Enterprise. This will be season 2. Command Gold. We're doing gold all around today. Women's uniform. Very nice. It's got 2 stripes, so as a commander. Right? It's lovely, lovely. So 2XL. Look at all the beautiful pipe work. Look at all that. You know how hard that is on a sewing machine? Look at this. Love it. Yeah. So that's what I got. I will disclose, it has a pinhole where the badge goes. But if you're gonna wear this, then you're gonna put a badge there anyway. So no one will know. I think we're all set. Sorry that took so long. But hopefully you were curious enough to wait through it. I am gonna use these as the mold basin. So I need to remove the bottoms. Hopefully these scissors are strong enough. Doesn't look like I don't know what I'm doing, right? Okay. All right. I really hope this is enough to keep the mess out. I'm gonna take a plastic bag and I'm gonna cut in half. Okay, see? And then I have to cut a little slit. These are glitter. I have to cut a little slit, like just enough for my ear to slide through. Maybe it needs to be a little oval. How long is that? Like thus long? A little oval? Through that, right? If it works, I'll do the same to the bottom. Right? It feels perfect. It feels right. I just have to do it again. We need the thing you're gonna pour it into. That is Piper walking around. She's doing very well, by the way. Okay. Let's put some holes in the top. I'm gonna cut around. Oh yeah, that's brittle. So I chose to go here instead of on the outside because this is pretty brittle stuff and the cracks would have traveled up and made this leaky when I go to use it. This way it has, you know, the stability of a corner and I can still get it around my whole ear. What do you think? All right. Double check. We have the thing to keep it out of the hair, right? Check. We're gonna do this. And then we got the thing to do this. Right? And then I have to lay my head sideways. And then we're gonna fill it full of stuff, right? And then you kind of like put your finger around and get all the bubbles out before it dries. And then you have to be still and let it dry. And then you peel it all off. And I think to get the mold out of this, you have to cut this down the side. So I'm all set with this. So I have all these parts are ready to go. What I'm realizing is, oh no, I can pour it with this. I just needed something else to pour it in with, and I have another one of these. Okay. Do you see me forgetting anything? Because I don't think I am. Oh, let's prep this too. We need something to shove in our ear hole. Sure it's the right size. No, that's too big. That in there right now. Now, I feel like I put it kind of deep in there, but I gotta remind myself that when this dries, this is going, the mold itself is going to pull that out of my ear. So, I guess we're ready to go. This is the brand I bought, by the way. I need to put the thing over my ear before I start. Plastic going on now, because this is going to happen kind of quickly. I said 1 cup of water, right? dot. I always try again if I mess up. Stay positive. Okay, here we go. Okay, well that feels pretty darn creamy. So into here. Set a timer for 8 minutes.
I've set a timer for 8 minutes.
Oh, thank you.
It will go off at 5 p.m.
Thank you, dearest. Here we go. Everything feels right. And I'm just gonna have to keep my freaking hand like this. I can't see if it's empty. That must be empty by now, right? Okay, well I get to stay here for a while and hold it tight to the side of my head. Lay here and dream of Vulcan ears. So how you doing? What you been up to? Anybody making anything cool? Oh my god, it says it's time. Stop. Everybody calm down. It's the moment of truth. Okay. I'm really nervous. I'm gonna try to help it with my little fingers. Here we go. Well, I lost the deep into my ear part. I feel like that might be okay. Right? Because it still has all the other details. That might be fine. That is so weird. That is so weird. So yeah, like the big down into my ear channel came out, which might just mean that I need to put more wadding in there. But I think that's enough. It's very wet. So I'm gonna let it sit for a second. And while that is drying out, I'm gonna do my next ear, which you don't have to see. Friends, look. So I did my other ear, I cut up the side. This thing, this beautiful thing just fell right out, no problem. I just did it with the other one. They're both out of their containers. And now I have two. Gaze upon them. Two finished ear molds. This is awkward. Our next step, my tummy, is to mix the actual the plaster part. This is what it looks like. Obviously the space of my ear is pretty small, so I don't need a lot of this. Okay, here's 1 cup of the powder. Not too much. Now I'm supposed to tap it on the table to get the bubbles out. Just tap it to get any bubbles to come to the surface. Release any hidden bubbles. Ooh. Okay, and the other one. I feel like I want the details, see it's how it's uneven. I want the details up here, so I'm gonna prop this up. so it sits, I might as well do it with this one too. So it sits flatter and gets all the details at the top of the ear. Now I guess we have to wait 45 minutes. Just had a piece, oh golly, just had a piece of ginger candy and that was hot. All right, what did I say this said? Okay, it's been well over 45 minutes. I feel like it's been an hour. Here we go. Do you think it worked? Oh, get a container for my mess. Ooh, I see. I see ear parts. Yes. This is so cool. Stitch river. See if we can get this one out properly. And now they just have to wait 24 hours. So I guess I will be seeing you guys tomorrow. They are a lot drier now. And I think with a little cleaning up, I think I'm gonna have to break this piece off so I can make the back of the point. Oh, this feels wrong. But yeah, there we go. See, now I can reach the back of the ear to make the point better. Nice and clean. Do another one too. I think I'm all set to start making the point of the ears. Yeah? Yeah. All right. So I bought this clay. And it's I tested a little bit so the bag's open, and it dries like the same consistency as this stuff. So this is the brand. And I need some shaping tools and maybe a little water. I'm gonna use the end of this paintbrush that I got from the dollar store. I discovered that this stuff kind of dries up quick, but you can re-moisten it by adding a little water. And so I'm just going to give it a little wetness to give it the desire to stick on there. Alright, so if you look at pictures of Vulcan ears, right, this upper part is actually kind of flat. That's just way too much. Add a little more water. Nice. Now, elves, when you see an elf ear, it's a very, like, it's just a point, you know? But an elf ear is like a point, right? But then the Vulcan ear has like a curve toward the face. So I want to make sure this has that nice curve. thick from the front or the back. Now you can use water to kind of like smooth out the back, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just gonna smooth out this little dent. Right, so I want to keep that little hole, little natural bit that I have, and then I'm gonna just like bring this line up to define the folds that go around the arch of your ear, but in this case it would be a point. So I'm going to use this tool to stick into that space. So it's going to kind of like that. Come down into that turn right there. Right? Then I'm going to roll that over. Depth now. Oh, see? Now we're getting a nice depth and turn. So I'm going to come down this side and do the same thing, just not quite as wide. Clean that back up. So I want this to be a little more Vulcan and a little less elf. This is very elf right now, right? So I'm going to press into the side and push it forward. Right? Ooh, that's much better. See, but then now that's too wide, so now I got to figure out how to thin that out. Aha. Okay, well, I'll squash it down a little bit to get a better turn on the tip. I'm going to fill in my ear hole, my ear piercing. All right. What do you think? I think this came out really good. Wow. I'm gonna let this dry while I make the other one, hopefully as identical as possible. Yeah, and then I guess we'll figure out the next step. All right, I have the ears out and about now, and I'm going to use a sharp edge. In this case, sharp but not like a cutting edge, something thin. In this case, a hair clip to just kind of like lightly go over the ear, and it gets rid of all these little bumps and little dents. Just a light shaving. Alright, it's a lot smoother now. Much smoother. Now to make sure that these are super slick and come out of the mold very easily, I'm just giving them a coating of clear nail polish. We have the ear in the mold, so I guess I'm going to try to dig this out now. Oh man, I really hope this worked. Well, that's promising. Okay, that's the back of the ear. So kind of see the point in there. Gently. I really don't want to tear this. I should dig this out. So that's the hull of the ear. And I just want to make sure that it doesn't snag. And I'm going to pull the point out. Ooh, I think that really worked well. There's nothing left in the ear, so that means everything is in there. And now we're ready to use the mold. Alright, I feel like with the lights off you can see the difference between the resin and the mold better. So let's try to release this ear. It's been sitting for quite some time. Ignore my fake tattoos. I was playing around with fake tattoos. They're not real. Oh. Huh. Well, I do believe that worked. It's not quite solid yet. I probably took it out a little early, but yeah, that's the same. Hi. Hello. You may notice that my hair's changed. Yes, that's because it's been literal months since I started this project. My boyfriend and I both got COVID. And not at the same time, no. I got it as soon as he had recovered. So that was a good 3 weeks of just misery. Now, I'm home alone. It's the 3-day weekend, and I just want to finish this. But this is how I like decompress, is being crafty. And Star Trek crafty especially. So, we're back, we're plugging along. Oh my god. Another slight problem. Where's the old mold, you ask? It was all going so well. Yeah. A certain beloved creature ate it. Both of them, actually. Ruined. So I had to start fresh with the making the mold part anyway. So hopefully these come out. They're embedded a little bit, so I've got to scalpel them free. That mirror is filthy. Or I'm filthy. Both. Last time I used foam to create the dish, and I pressed the ear into the bottom of the dish so that this wouldn't happen. But this time I just set the ears at the bottom of this plate and then poured the silicone solution on top, and it dried, and then I pried it out. So I have a little layer underneath. I used the tape to tape down the edges to keep the ears from tilting off the floor of the pan. It's really not a big deal. I'm just gonna scalpel them out. Let's tilt this down a bit so you can see. Too close. Too far, too close. I'm just following the back of the edge of the ear inward a little bit. It really doesn't matter. Another thing that kind of went askew, this isn't the first time I'm ever doing this, and this is the first time I'm ever using a lot of these brands of product. That worked okay. Remember those clear versions of the ears I made? Right? Looks really cute. However, what? I mixed it so precisely. I used a measuring cup. It was 1-to-1. it's just not solidifying, and it's been literally weeks. I'm gonna do a test run again, but this is the resin I bought. So far not impressed. I'm gonna cut out the middle of the ear. So I've released the back. And again, let's free these and see if it hardened up the way it was supposed to. So very delicately peel things back and wiggle it free. I sprayed the ears and the tray with this stuff beforehand. It's supposed to make it easy to get things out of molds. It's a good thing this stuff is so durable. Woo! All right. Got it out. That one getting a lot easier. All right. So it's got some marks from the tape on it, but the ears themselves came out, from what I could tell, really well. So we're gonna move on to the next step. I just got lint all over my mold, that's great. This liquid latex that I had purchased for this project has gone bad. It is chunky, and that's not gonna work. Thankfully, I have a tiny bottle that I bought a long time ago that still seems kind of good. I poured a bunch of it into this and it seems pretty like a good consistency for this project. Let's talk about the techniques in order first. I have seen where people, they take this mold, they fill it with liquid latex, then they take the ear that they made the mold with. Usually it's the one without the arc, but I didn't make two of each of these. I only made one of each ear. So all I have is the one with the tip on it. I guess I could, since this is soft, I could trim that tip off, but they'll slide this back in with the liquid latex and then wait for it to dry. And then you get a solid ear tip instead of a hollow one. And once it dries, they pull it out and they peel out the ear, and then they've got a nice usable ear. And what I'm looking for is like this durability, this thickness, you know? And I think that might lead to a really thin wall. I did build these up a little bit to give it more thickness. Another technique I saw somebody use was they just poured the latex straight into here, and then they kind of worked it around to fill in all the gaps, and they left it to dry ear tip down, so the excess would dribble into the tip and leave a very thin layer on all of the actual human ear details where it needs to fit over your ear. But this is the only mold I have. The reason I made these was to be able to make more molds. The reason I made these was to make these. And that's so in the future when this wears out, I can make more. I'm just hesitant to damage this, considering what happened to the last one. I think the technique I'm going to use is like the candle dip technique. Okay, so what you do, you get a little pot of latex and you literally just dip it. And then you kind of like set it to dry. So I'm gonna need some clips, something to fasten it to something to dry. Oh, I got some right there. And then when it's done, you just carefully peel it off and you have the ear. It seems like the most simple to me. If this doesn't work, we'll just try a different way. Let's do it. I've coated it. So we're just gonna wait for this ear to dry. I kind of made a mistake. Sort of. I did. On one ear. and I'm trying really hard to fix it. The ears have been dipped in the latex and they were drying, and I realized that one of them had spots that were not holding the latex. It would just spread away from that area. And then I figured out what I did. Hold on, I shall show you. What I did is I handled this stuff. The can is greasy from, you know, being used. And I went and touched this ear before I dipped it in the latex. And now you can see, like, there's certain spots where it's not sticking because it's got oil on it. Oh boy. So I've let some of the latex get a little thick, and I'm trying to rescue this ear by kind of painting the thicker latex over it. And then I shall dip it again and hopefully it'll hold over these spots that I'm touching up. Just trying to keep the natural curves. Yeah. The other one's coming out really good. But this one, I just apparently got my slimy hand all over it and didn't even realize. But this is the point of, like, learning a new skill, right? You figure out what not to do. So hopefully I can rescue this. If not, well, I will be demonstrating with just that one, because that one's doing great. All right, so this is attempt number 1. Hopefully if these come off well, there won't have to be attempt number 2. This one got a little messed up. Got some chunks drawing at the peak. And this is what I was talking about. See how it was staying real thin on these spots here? I think that's where I got oil on it from my hands from the mold release spray. Well, still though, practice makes perfect, and peeling this off will be part of the practice. So this one came out a little better. It's got some bubbles on the inside, but of course that's going to be trimmed off later anyway. See how they're kind of glossy? We would like to get rid of that because that also makes it stick to itself. And so what I'm going to do is add some of this rice protein complex. It's just face powder, but it's rice based. I feel like that won't damage it. Anyway, I will be dabbing that on with a makeup brush as I remove it to keep it from sticking. It got on the back. It was a very messy process, I swear. But I will get better. And there's the clear mold on the inside. Oh boy. Okay, I'm gonna do this one first. See how it's going matte instead of being as glossy? And it's not sticky at all anymore. This part is very thin, very bendy. I might trim it off. It's not necessary. Oh my goodness. See how it sticks? It really wants to stick to itself. That's why we're using the powder. But look at that. It is very thin. Right there. See that? That's where it wouldn't build up because there was oil on it. Now I know to be more careful, but there's a Vulcan ear. There it is. Like, that's crazy. This is the one that I don't think came out too well because I let it dry a little too much up at the tip of the ear, kind of ruined the shape. But the principle works. This stuff, the messy edge, I'm gonna trim off with a pair of scissors. There. I want to open this inside up because that's obviously the hole I'd be hearing through. I need like super tiny scissors for that. I wonder if I have my own manicure set. Okay. Itty bitty manicure set I'm going to open this up with. See if it wants to stick to itself in there. Alright. I've opened up the hole in the ear so I can actually hear things. And that's my ear. Well, I'm going to peel this one off. We'll see how this one comes out. Next step is to try this on. I'm not gonna do both, just because this one's kind of wonky. Like, I know with practice will come more skilled creation, but for now, I'm not gonna use this one. I am going to put, like I usually do while doing this, a little bit of Duo Lash Glue. This is the really forgiving stuff. This peels off really nice and easy. There are brands that like are very intense, and as soon as you put something on your skin, it's gonna like, it's like super glue. That's an exaggeration. You can remove it. It's just, it would be pretty hazardous on this. I'll put a little in there and like wipe it around on the edges. The edges around the inside of the ear. I'm not going to fill the whole ear, that'd be ridiculous because it's not going to be exposed to air long enough to dry. Okay. Now I'm going to slide it onto my ear. Oh man, I have this pile of mending to do. I tore 2 pairs of pants at work, and my little dog wears sweaters because she's got geriatric hypothermia, so I'm going to use the pile of mending to hold up my mirror. Oh, look at that, cute. So I'm pinching it so it opens and then sliding it over the ear. Ooh. There we go. Okay. So I'm just going to saddle it over the ear. And then fold all the little bits on the inside over. Very nice. It's drying pretty quick. I can feel it adhering. There we go. So see how there's like a seam? I'm gonna try to fill that with glue. So I just realized there's a slight flaw in my trimming job, and there's no going back at this point. I'll just have to remember to do a better job next time. My viewfinder is so small. You see, there's a little pointy thing. This brush is very tiny. See right in here, that little guy? Yeah, I could have done better removing that. Oh well. Alright, I'm going to attempt to put some makeup on it. I'm going to put on some foundation that matches my skin tone more. It's already starting to look a little better. Okay. Yes. Alright, I'm gonna go light to dark. With this stacked palette of different colors. It's also got a highlighter in it. It doesn't really matter, just a palette of multiple varieties of your skin tone. Alright, I'm going to try one more time to glue that edge back down. Is it dry? Okay, it seems to be sticking. You can always do your hair to hide the seam, but like, that's not what I'm here for. I think this kind of works. I mean, it's on there. It's a pointed ear. I gotta say, we had some slight hiccups. I should try some different types of glue. I'm also noticing that, obviously as you talk, your cheek moves and it pulls a little bit back here by the ear. Yeah, we all know this. So that might need that much stronger eyelash glue than this stuff, which I have been using for years with the caps, but this being a much more all-encompassing shape, it needs something more secure here. I really like the way it came out. I really do. Obviously I learned that I should trim up higher. Not a big deal. I can hear just fine because it's open in the middle. It doesn't hold the makeup as well, I guess would be the word, as strongly as these, but I only tried it with one brand of liquid latex, so I could just try some different brands until I find one that holds the makeup the way I want it to. I really think this is an overall success. Obviously, practice will make perfect. I will keep trying. I will find new techniques. This took me forever because things just kept coming up. But I'm really glad I stuck with it, and I'm really glad I got to show you guys how to do this. If you try this, do tell me how yours came out. Give me whatever tips and tricks that you discover. I can't wait to make another set. Well, my new Vulcaneers and I thank you for coming to my little show. If it weren't for you guys, I'd just be down here making Star Trek costumes alone. Thank you so much for joining me. Now that it's getting cold out, I will not be camping nearly as much, and hopefully the drama is at a minimum. But until next time, live long and prosper. Kapla! And